Hi, Six. So we're on to a guided video for Thursday's lesson. Now, I just have to point out that Craven the cat has decided to join me on my table. So this could all go wrong any second now. Let's get rid of that for a moment. So I just want to give you some explanation about this business, really. So your objective is to convert miles and kilometers, but why? Why do you need to do that? So I've mentioned this word before. Essentially, what we've got is two systems. We've got the imperial system of measurement that was developed over hundreds of years in the UK, and then France developed the metric system in 1670, so quite a few years ago now, which spread through Europe. So we've got two different systems in place here. So in the UK, it was 1818. Parliament first discussed changing the system so that we would follow this metric system. In 1965, so look at the difference here. In 1965, we actually started to adopt the metric system in the UK, and we are still kind of stuck in between two things. All of our road signs are in miles. Now, miles is the imperial system, okay? But well, we talk about things like meters and centimeters and millimeters and liters and milliliters. That is all the metric system. So we're kind of stuck between two places. In terms of weight, we talk about grams and kilograms, but my mum would talk to you in pounds and ounces. So there's two completely different things going on. So 1965 people, and we still haven't figured it out yet. Now, America, you know, they like to be awkward. So America and a few other countries do use the imperial system, and pretty much just use that. Oh, petrol as well. Buy petrol by the gallon. That is an imperial measurement. So we buy petrol by the gallon. That is an imperial leftover. Right, a bit more on your lesson. Now, a geography lesson. So, I love this map. The blue is where we mostly use the metric system. So, even though in Canada they sometimes use a bit of imperial, it's mostly metric. This is Canada, by the way. Didn't know that. Mainly imperial. Look, you've got the United States of America, Alaska up here, still part of the United States of America, being awkward. Liberia, Myanmar over here in, well, that must be Asia. And then you've got us. So this is where we are. And we are mixed because we like to be different and awkward. So we've got a complete mixture of the two. I couldn't find anything further than 2019 in my little searches, but 2019 is not too far away. Right, and then I think you've got one final little lesson. Oh yeah. So these are our road signs. So this is the M62, one of the main motorways in the country, and these distances are in miles. So from this point in miles, it was 23 miles to Manchester. Okay. And then now I think this might have been from Hawaii. I can't quite remember now. They've got their distances in miles and in kilometers. So I'm hoping you can see that there, 4.6 miles or 7.4 kilometers. And then here we've got a country that's trying to make people aware of what their speed limit is. So if you can go 80 kilometers an hour, that's 50 miles per hour. And there's another thing, we talk about miles per hour. We don't think in kilometers an hour. Now, here's your junction to get to Nottingham from Derby on the A52. This isn't half a meter, it's half a mile. Okay, so our road signs in the UK are in miles. Republic of Ireland, I believe, are in kilometers. Right, I think that might be it. Yes, it is. Okay, so that was your history / geography lesson for the day. And now we're on to some actual guided work for maths. So let's remember the key fact then. 5 miles is approximately equal to 8 kilometers. So I've tried to show you that over here on this little bar model. So there's our 5 miles, approximately 8 kilometers. Can you see where I've said approximately here? They don't quite match up. So it's approximately 8 kilometers. So we can use that information, well, to try and help us work out a few different things, really. So on this one, it says, can you fill in the circles with a greater than or less than sign? So all you need to do, nothing complicated, is use this to help you for the moment. That's it. Okay. So do have a go. Pause the video. Jot something down, or just talk to me, even though I can't hear you. That's absolutely fine. So 1 mile, is it greater than or less than 1 kilometre? So here's our mile, and it comes up to here, which has got to be greater than. It's almost greater than 1.5 kilometres. So we need 1 mile is greater than 1 kilometre. Okay. And then we've got 1 mile and 2 kilometres. So here's our 1 mile, but 2 kilometres is over here. So 1 mile has got to be smaller than 2 kilometres, or we could read it as 2 kilometres is greater than 1 mile if we wanted to. And then we've got our final one, 5 kilometres and 8 miles. So 5 kilometres and 8 miles. We're saying they're approximately equal, but which is oh, sorry, I've gone the wrong way there. 5 kilometres, 8 miles. Ignore me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometres. So 5 kilometres is, what's that? 1, 2, 3. Just over 3 miles. So 5 kilometres and 8 miles. It's got to be that 5 kilometres is smaller than 8 miles. Yeah. Okay, 5 kilometres is smaller than 8 miles. Sorry, I kind of went the wrong way around for a moment there. Right, next one. So on this one, we're filling in the blanks. So I've left the information up here. 8 kilometres is approximately equal to 5 miles. And you can use that sign. That is a genuine mathematical sign. I've not just made that up. So I'll try and do it some justice. That's, I've not done it any justice at all. Let me just go back a slide. This sign is an actual genuine thing. It is a mathematical symbol that means approximately equal to. It does not look like that. I'm just going to just scribble it out and pretend that didn't happen. Right, so on this one, we are filling in the blanks. So in class, my plan is that we will just talk about this. So I'm just going to talk at you. You are welcome to pause, talk to whoever's in the room with you if there's anyone there. The cat's over by the window now, so I think we're doing okay. Yeah, talk to yourself, jot it down, however you want to do it. So 8 kilometres is approximately equal to 5 miles. 8 kilometres, 5 miles. 4 kilometres then. So hopefully you can see divided by 2. So if I divide this by 2, hopefully you can figure out that that is 2.5. Let's just get rid of the smiley face altogether. So 2.5 miles is approximately 4 kilometres. And then we can use that to help us work out these other ones. So 5 miles, if we times it by 2, we get 10 miles. So surely then, if we times 8 kilometres by 2, we can work out that 10 miles is approximately equal to 16 kilometres. Okay, makes sense? Then I'm going to jump to, do you know what? Let's jump to this end one. I'm just seeing this here. I don't think it matters what order we do it in. So 10 kilometres, 10 miles and 20 miles. So 10 miles was 16 kilometres, and we're doubling from here to here. So let's double 16. So double 16 would be 32, I believe. Lovely. So 20 miles is approximately 32 kilometres. All right, now what's the best way of working out this one? I'm going to go with this one here. So if I've got 5 miles and I times it by 3, I'll get to 15. I might just draw this on with a pen. I picked up a pen for a little while. So 5 miles, if I times it by 3, I'll get to 15. So if I times that 8 by 3, I should know how many kilometres that is approximately equal to. Where have you gone, Select? There we go. I always lose it. So 5 times 3 is 15. 8 times 3, 24. Done. Okay, so we're just using times table, facts, times table, skills, etc. Now, I've left you one to work out here. So we've got 20 now, 20 kilometres. So I'm looking along the way to see what would be a good thing to multiply so that I can get this one here. So, here, look, it's got to be that one, surely. Does that work? 20? No. Right, it's got to be this one. So, I'm talking factors really here. So, if you look at the 4, to get to the 20, we multiply by 5. I can't see anything else that I can multiply to get to 20. So, I'm going to stick with my 4 kilometres. So if I do the same to this 2.5 here, so I'm doing 2.5 times by 5. So now let me think about that for a moment. 2.5 times by 2 would be 5. So times by 4 it would be 10. And then add another 2.5 should be 12.5. Let's hope I'm right. Woo! Amazing. 12.5 miles is approximately 20 kilometers. Okay. Right, hoping that made some sense, even if you didn't do it on your own. Hopefully you can see how I've worked each of those out. And we're talking times table facts. I'm not adding anything. I couldn't have worked out 10 to 15 by adding on 5. That's not what's happening here. Look, it's not 16 add 5. It's all about multiplication facts. Have I mentioned recently? Get yourselves on Rockstars and get practicing. Right. So a little word problem for you here. So in Italy, the motorway speed limit is 130 kilometers an hour. In the UK, the motorway speed limit is 70 miles per hour. So that's what these two things stand for: kilometers per hour, miles per hour. In which country is the speed limit higher? And we're going to use our same fact to work this out. So we can change our miles, into kilometers. So 5 miles is 8 kilometers. If we just work out what we times 5 by to make 70, we can do the same to this side and we'll know what the UK speed limit is then in kilometers, which we can then directly compare to our Italian one here. Now, 5 times by 12 is 60. So from there, if I add 2 more lots of 5 on, I'm going to get to 70. So 5 times by 14 is 70. So I need to do, therefore, the same things, just like when we do fractions. We need to do 8 times by 14. In fact, it's like when we did algebra as well, isn't it? Do the same to both sides of the equation. So we're doing 8 times 14. Let's jot a little something down. You might have just done this in your head already. I'm just going to jot down what I'm doing for you. So I'm going to do 8 times 10 is 80. I'm going to do 8 times 4 is 32. I'm going to add those two things together for 112 kilometers per hour, approximately. It's not bang on accurate, but it's approximately. You could have done that in other ways, but I always find partitioning when it's that kind of thing quite easy. Oh, you could have done 8 times 12 and then added on 16. That would have worked for you. 8 times 12 is 92? No, is it? 98. I always forget 8 times 12. I need to get on Rockstars. Right, so let's just double check that we were right. We are, so it's 112 kilometers. So Italy's speed limit is 130. Which one is faster? That would be Italy. Having driven on a motorway in Italy, I would definitely say that this is a slightly more terrifying experience than it is in the UK. Right. Now, there's a couple of these. I'm hoping this video isn't going to be too long for it to fit onto Purple Mash, if I'm honest. So 8 kilometers is approximately equal to 5 miles. How is that fact not in your brain yet? So now, airport is 56 kilometers away. Can we work out how far that is in miles? So have a think about how you would work that out. I've chucked a bar model on to try and help you. So how many miles away is it? So we've got a total of 56 kilometers. Each one of these blocks then is approximately 5 miles. So pause the video, have a go, use this to help you as much as you need to. Jot down your working out. I'm just going to show you the answer and talk about it, so do make sure you've had a go. Right, so have a look at this. 56 kilometers. If I divide it by 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I get 7. So 56 divided by 8 is 7. Okay? 56, I've divided it by 8. Why I've divided it by 8? Because 8 kilometers is approximately 5 miles. If I then do 7 times by 5, I get 35 miles. I'll just show you on here how that is working out for us. So this is 5. 5 miles. I can't really write in miles. 5. I don't even think I've got the skills to be able to do that. 5 miles. So I've done 56 because that was our total distance, and I've divided it by 8 because we're in kilometers. If I do 56 divided by 8, I get 7. So I get 7 different lots of 8. And each of those lots is equal to approximately 5 miles. So I then times by 5 to work out how many miles I've got ish. So that all lines up, look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 miles. Right, there's another very similar question, but just going the opposite way. So the station is 65 miles away. How many kilometers is that? So it's kind of the opposite of what we just did. So I know my miles this time, and I'm trying to work out the kilometers. So before we divided by 8, but we don't have kilometers this time, we've got miles. So think about what you're going to divide 65 by. Now, I've tried to show you a bar model here, but I have not completed it. If you want to draw it out and complete it, you can, but you might not need to. So can you change 65 miles into kilometers? So I am going to reveal the answer, so make sure you've had a go. So I do my 65 miles and I divide it by 5. Look, 5 miles. If I divide it by 5, that gives me 13. So I'm using my times table facts there again. 60 times 5, 12 times 5 is 60. So 13 times 5 has got to be 65. And then I times it by 8 because of my 8 kilometers. I'll just show you it another way. So we had 5 miles. It's approximately equal, sorry, I just can't do that, to 8. So 5 miles, 8 kilometers. Can't squeeze miles in there, sorry. Then we had 65 miles. So what do we times that by? We times that by 13. So then we've got to do 8 times 13, if that visually helps you. So 8 times 13, we get 104 kilometers. So whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. I find this way, I know I've not said it out very clearly, a nicer way of laying it out. Personally, that's how my mind is working. Oh, on to intelligent practice, right. Let's see how long the video was. I feel like it was days. Oh, 17 minutes. I'm hoping that's going to be all right for Purple Mush. I will end it quickly there. I'll speak to you in a moment for your intelligent practice.